Welcome back to another video. The 12th episode of story, which shows Naruto and Sasuke losing blood and chakra after their final battle at the Valley of the End. The rivals die before aid arrives, and the Biju decide to utilize one last gift from their father to offer Naruto and themselves another chance to make things right. Please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Let's jump right in.
Asuma sighed as he blew the smoke out of his lungs. He just got back from a mission when he's been told the Uchiha was kidnapped and they needed backup. He didn't think he would be of any real help when she said a squad of 5 were going after the boy, 7 if you included the backup. That was until he learned it was all newly made chunin. The man figured that if Kakashi was put in the state he was in, that she would send special jounin at the very least, if not Anbu. Instead, a handful of green chunin and Zabuza Momchi as a backup for his first mission outside the village. The man cursed under his breath. He would have the women's head if Shikamaru was killed, since she decided it best to make him leader. While these were a strong bunch of kids, they were still kids. Asuma landed on a branch as he saw his student and Zabuza in a bad state. He watched the two strike down the enemy before Shikamaru collapsed. He could tell that if he didn't intervene Zabuza may die, Shikamaru wouldn't, but he was still obviously hurt. Asuma jumped down next to Shikamaru. The boy smiled and spoke. Naruto went that way. He pointed northwest. Asuma cracked his knuckles, letting the smoke out from his cigarette before spitting the butt out of his mouth. No problem, I'll go get him back. He made 2 shadow clones that carefully picked up Zabuza, while Shikamaru got on the back of one of them. Before Asuma could leave, the boy looked back. Please be careful. Asuma just nodded before taking off in the direction he needed to go, his clones heading back to the village to report to the Hokage and get Zabuza some immediate attention. Asuma had hoped that more of the group would be with Naruto. While the boy was incredibly strong, he wasn't perfect either, and everyone was outclassed by someone. With Shikamaru only pointing in the direction of Naruto, that means he already passed everyone else who came with him. He didn't see them, meaning they were out of the way for whatever reason. He just hoped that everyone else was okay. The Jounin picked up his speed trying to catch up to the kid. Heading in this direction meant they were heading for the Valley event where the legendary battle between the first Hokage and Madara Uchiha was. Asuma had a bad gut feeling and hoped he could catch the kid in time. That valley was a bad place. There's a reason people avoided it. Nothing good comes from going there. Naruto gritted his teeth as he attacked again. Rasengan. The boy screamed, shoving his signature technique forward just to hit a holographic clone and fall into the ground, making yet another crater in the ground. This guy was really starting to piss him off, and nothing he did mattered. This man was a giant, and it was obviously he was very physically strong, but his speed was downright ludicrous. Come on, is that all you got, kid? I figured you would be strong, but you haven't even touched me yet, Puko taunted before appearing behind Naruto and kicking the boy in his back. Naruto was seething. He figured he would be able to handle this guy pretty quick and then go get Sasuke back and everything would be fine. But this was getting out of hand. When he first showed up, Sasuke was in the barrier and he knew exactly what was going on. But when Puko had set the boy down to stall for time and defeat Naruto, things were different. Sasuke emerged out of the barrier, purple chakra dripping off his body as he exposed a whole new aura, something Naruto hadn't felt from the boy in a long time. But when Sasuke's eyes met Naruto's, he looked terrified and scared, as if he didn't know what to do. Puko shouted orders for where he needed to go, and like an obedient child Sasuke obeyed and took off. He could tell Sasuke was acting out of the norm, and he was unsure of what to do. That was about 2 minutes ago, and he still hasn't been able to touch this guy once. He was also worried about everyone else because Gurren never caught up and he felt her fighting, which means someone is back there. He just hoped that whoever the backup was, would quickly come relieve him so he could bring Sasuke back. In all honesty, when he first came back, it took all it had in him to not just outright murder Sasuke. But he knew that wasn't the right choice. He may be different, but this Sasuke was innocent. He was hurt and still a child and didn't know better. After many years he was able to tolerate the boy. He had to force himself to do it. But once he had, it became easier to be around him, and now things are different. While he used to watch his actions and tried to be careful, to mold Sasuke how he wanted, he couldn't help but change himself. Now he isn't the same person and he doesn't know if he's right or not. Now he doesn't want Sasuke to die at all. He's come to care for the boy too much, but he knows that if it must come to it he will kill the boy, and the day that happens is the day he fully stops holding back. He will force Tsuan to let him go head first at Akatsuki with Jiraiya, and they will put an end to everything before Madara has his chance and before Kyuga can be revived. Really, Naruto doesn't know what he wants anymore and what to do anymore. He just knows he will do anything he can to save his precious people, even if that means ending Sasuke. Naruto appeared in his inner world. Kurama, give me some chakra, I need to be done with this guy. Either I kill Sasuke today or I talk sense into him and he comes back with me, Naruto said to his friend as the Kyuubi stood up stretching before his power blasted out of the cage. Finally, something good. If you're gonna kill him, at least pull him into our world so he can know what true fear is before you end his life. Let him feel the fear our kids felt as he ended their lives, Kurama spit out. A hate-fueled spite obviously filled his voice. Naruto could understand after everything that happened. His friend had come to personally know Hinata and he watched baby Boruto whenever Naruto was around. The two became family to him as well, and the fox was known to hold a grudge. If it comes to that, yes, I will let you have your fun. For now let's try to see what happens, Naruto said before he opened his eyes to dodge a punch from Puko. Naruto's eyes slitted red as red chakra seeped from his pores, a cloak not fully forming, but the power radiating off the boy was enough to make the air around him heavy as he protruded power. Oh ho, what's this? Looks like you've got some spun. Puko was cut short as Naruto buried his fist into the man's gut. Puko spit out as he held his stomach, falling to one knee. What the fuck are you? Puko said before coughing up blood, trying to stand up but obviously in a lot of pain from the hit. Naruto heard more explosions in the background, and just prayed for the safety of his friends, knowing that right now there was no time to turn back. Naruto looked down at the man, the red chakra still dripping off his body, his once blue eyes slitted like a feral animal and blood red. His whiskers more defined and his voice now heavier as he spoke. I have no time for trash. Naruto closed his fist and punched Puko in the temple hard, but the man turned into rock, crumbling. Naruto's eyes widened before Puko came up from under the ground, dragging Naruto down under and sealing the earth above the boy, closing him off from any air. Naruto though didn't care for this and started to force a Rasengan to form in both of his hands. Using the power from the Rasengan and his own physical strength, Naruto tore apart the ground surrounding him before forcing the attack above his head, ripping apart soil and earth until the Rasengan destabilized and exploded outwards above him. Naruto jumped out, spitting out rock and soil as air forced its way back into his lungs. Cheap trick, but now you're done for, Naruto said as he naturally hunched over onto all fours. What are you? Some kind of Inuzuka? The man chuckled. That was the only logical to get to that line of thinking, of course. Naruto had feral eyes, was on all fours, canines, and his style altogether mimicked the Inuzuka family. The man couldn't think of anything else Naruto could be with the way he fought. Naruto meanwhile smirked at the man's comment before taking off at speeds faster than before. Naruto went for a straightforward attack, slashing at the man's chest with his claws. Puko put up his arms as quickly as he could to block, taking some superficial cuts to his arms. Puko sighed, thanking himself for hardening his arms before Naruto had attacked, or else the attack would be a lot worse. The fact that he was even cut surprised the man altogether. Had that hit his chest, he would be dead right now. Puko looked at the boy more seriously now as he kicked Naruto back, not wasting time in creating space between the two. Kazebukuatsu, wind explosion, Naruto shouted as he forced air into the palm of his hand before shooting it out towards Puko. Doten, Iwa, no Yoroi, earth release, shield of stone, Doten, Ishi no Yari, earth release, stone spear. Puko yelled out the two jutsu back to back. The first creating a layer of protective stone/clay mix over his body, the second shooting a spear of solid earth towards Naruto, aiming just over the other boy's attack. Puko got hit directly by Naruto's attack and was blasted back. The wind exploded over the man's body, cutting through the stone and clay mix, leaving cuts over the man's body, but still only superficial damage. Naruto meanwhile just smirked as the stone spear came at him. Fuuten, Kaze no Yaiba, wind release, sword of wind. Naruto made a wind of sword and right before he was impaled brought down his sword, cutting the spear in half as the attack split in half, missing his body, stabbing into the ground behind him, going pretty deep too. Naruto was lucky his sword was strong enough to stop the attack, or else he would have been ripped in half. Puko got up and was scared now. He was always strong, but this was getting ridiculous. This boy was on Guren's level. He shouldn't be fighting. Eyes burrowed though as he looked past Naruto into the tree line behind them. Naruto curiously looked also and smirked as he saw a haze of mist start to form behind them a ways back. It looks like they got back up against Guren. He just hoped that Zabuza would be enough. Naruto turned back around just to get hit in the face from Puko, who was still in his protective armor from the Iwa no Yoroi. Naruto felt his jaw crack as he was thrown backwards before slamming into a tree. He saw his vision go double for a minute as he tried to get his senses back, but he wasn't quick enough as Puko took the small advantage to jump on Naruto with another hard punch to his temple. Naruto felt the blood dripping down his forehead as he fought to stay conscious. If he didn't do something now, he was done for. Kurama, help please, Naruto asked his friend as he sluggishly put his arms up to stop himself from getting hit in the head again. this time feeling another bone in his arm break. He was pretty sure it was his radius. Kurama didn't even bother responding but flooded his system once more with even more chakra. Naruto felt his wounds healing as a blast wave of chakra forced Puko off him. The red cloak of the Kyuubi slowly covered Naruto as one tail formed behind him. Naruto took a deep breath in before he let out a relaxing smile as all the pain in his body disappeared. Naruto's voice grew dark, though he was still in control. It didn't change the fact that his next words sent a shiver of fear through the man in front of him. "I hope you're ready to die," Naruto smirked, his canines showing as his tail waved back and forth randomly before the boy shot towards the man. Puko didn't even see Naruto move, and before he knew it, he was on the ground holding his chest. Naruto was grinning wickedly as he held the man's heart. He threw it off to the side. "You didn't need it." "Anyways," Naruto said before forcing the chakra his friend was giving him to recede. He felt rejuvenated, but if he used it too long he would crash, and that wasn't an option right now. Naruto felt the power leaving his body and felt himself getting tired. He realized he must have overused it some. While his chakra was replenished and all his injuries were gone, he was still tired from overuse of Kurama's chakra. Naruto grabbed a soldier pill and popped it into his mouth. He didn't technically need it, but it would help with his exhaustion. After taking it, Naruto quickly took off. He just hoped Shikamaru and everyone else was okay. Hopefully Haku showed up with Zabuza. That will give the man an extra edge against Gura, and since she'll be Pearly support she won't see Haku until it's too late. They made a good tag team. Naruto quickly took off. He didn't like having to see Sasuke anywhere near the valley. That was a bad place and he didn't like it there. Nonetheless, he will do what is needed. Today decided Sasuke's fate. Asuma landed in the clearing looking around. It was obvious another battle took place here. He could smell blood in the air. He hoped Naruto was okay. He didn't want to report back to everyone that the boy was also dead. He didn't know the boy, not personally at least, but he did know he was the village's Jinchuriki. He also knew a lot of people cared for him, and it's never easy to lose someone as energetic as him. Asuma kept looking around until he found a body on the ground. He quickly approached and was shocked to see a sound ninja with his heart ripped out. Asuma could tell a battle was fought here, a strong one at that. He knew he felt powerful chakra, but he really hoped it wasn't the Kyuubi. The Jounin looked to the sky and saw storm clouds forming above. He had a really bad feeling. He looked onwards. The only thing in front of them was the Valley of the End, and according to the sky that's where the clouds start. He hoped for the sake of everyone nothing bad happened, but he knew in his gut he wouldn't be so lucky. Asuma prepared himself for anything and went on forward, preparing himself for anything he would find. Naruto jumped through the clearing as he saw the valley come into view. Just a bit further he saw what looked like Sasuke on the ground writhing in pain. Naruto tried to hurry up as he heard Sasuke screaming in pain, holding his neck where the curse mark was. Naruto landed next to the boy. "Sasuke, what's wrong? What's going on?" Naruto was frantic. This was not at all what he expected. "The curse mark, I was trying to suppress all the power that came with it when I came out of the barrel. It hurts so much, it's trying to force its way out of me. I was trying to stay in control, not give in fully so I could use Orochimaru to get stronger since I can't come home," Sasuke said through labored breaths and clenched teeth. He struggled to talk to Naruto as he held the curse mark. Naruto could see purple chakra seeping out of the seal and saw that the seal was trying to spread over the boy's body. Just like it did the first time Naruto saw him here. Naruto was frantic trying to think of what he could do to help. He wasn't advanced enough in Fuinjutsu to really do anything, including with the evil sealing method already having been applied. Sasuke continued to writhe around, trying his best to not give in. "I don't want to be a bad person." Sasuke was struggling to even speak. "I know I fucked up, but I'm trying my best. I just don't know what to do anymore." Sasuke spat out as his fingernails started to rip into his skin, as if to rip the seal off his body. For once, Naruto was at a complete loss for what to do. He knew nothing to help the boy. He could see tears going down Sasuke's face as the boy struggled. "I've come so far to make friends. I don't want to lose it all." In a moment of clarity, Sasuke looked Naruto in the eyes, his eyes almost begging the boy. "Please, before I lose myself, just kill me. I can't stand this pain anymore." Tears continued to stream down Sasuke's face as he kept trying to hold the seal in. Naruto never knew how much of a struggle this was for his friend before. Was the Sasuke before so power hungry that he just gave into the power? Has Naruto really changed this Sasuke so much that he would rather die than hurt his own friend for power? Naruto was at a dilemma because now more than ever he wanted to help Sasuke, but he didn't know if his efforts were going to be enough. It would be easier to just kill the boy and end it all now. Naruto's mind clicked and he pulled out his Fuinjutsu book he was studying. He quickly flipped to a page and without another word he pulled out 2 scrolls and made 2 clones. They nodded at the main Naruto and all 3 quickly started writing out a long sequence of seals. "Just hold on Sasuke, I'm going to try something. I just pray to Kami this works. I don't want to kill you this time around if I don't have to," Naruto said, not caring because he knew the boy could barely hear him. Naruto finished and looked at the sealing matrix in front of him. Everything looked right to him. He just prayed this would work, because this is the first seal he's ever made that didn't exist already. Naruto looked at the clones and they nodded and quickly grabbed Sasuke, holding the boy down. Sasuke started screaming as if it was harder to hold the seal in because he couldn't hold it. Naruto walked over to the boy and got down on his knees, overly looking the boy. "Kurama, fill me up, this just might work but I want as much chakra as possible to fuel this," Naruto told his friend as he prepared the jutsu. Kurama was obviously not happy about this, wanting to rather kill off the Uchiha, but nonetheless pushed his chakra into Naruto's system. "Okay Sasuke, this might hurt just a little, I'm sorry." Sasuke didn't say anything as he felt himself slipping. The curse marks started to slowly push out of the seal. Naruto widened his eyes knowing he had no time to waste. He quickly performed a few hand seals. "Fun. Transfer," Naruto said as he placed his right hand on the sealing matrix, and the left over the seal on Sasuke's neck. The effect was instantaneous as the matrix quickly moved off the pages and to Sasuke's neck, mixing itself into the seal that was already covering the cursed seal of heaven. Once it was finished, Sasuke stopped moving and screaming. His body went still as the boy lost consciousness. Naruto felt his pulse and was glad to feel a pulse still before he plopped down on the ground, lying on his back with a smile. He can't believe it worked. He mixed the original evil sealing method matrix with another more powerful containment seal. It wasn't another evil sealing method, but instead just a regular containment seal. He mixed the kanjis to focus on the object that he was containing. Pretty much Naruto had created a seal that works just like the seal for a Baijuo. It seals whatever you're focusing into it, and contains all of whatever needs to be held into the seal. In this instance he's sealing the cursed seal of heaven into this seal, so it can no longer have any effect on Sasuke. Though whatever long-term effects of the seal, he doesn't know, but for now the seal has seemed to stop affecting him. It fully receded into the boy and from the looks of it, the seal isn't trying to do anything anymore. My, now what is it that you've done to Sasuke-kun, Naruto-kun?" A voice said that, at Naruto's eyes shooting wide open as he jumped to his feet before he was punched in the gut. Now, I never said to stand up, QB brat." The voice got harsher as the man fixed his glasses. Naruto coughed up some blood from the force of the punch, his organs feeling a mess. "Oh yes, sorry about that. My chakra scalpel, as you probably know, is a surgery tool. Who knows what all I just cut when I hit you." Kurama was already pumping Naruto full of chakra, not only to heal him but getting ready for the inevitable fight that was to come. "Kabuto, what the fuck are you doing here?" Naruto said as he slowly stood up while more chakra flooded his system. Naruto kept pulling on it. Just filling his reserves wouldn't be enough, he would need at the very least a tail. Kabuto was almost as slippery as Orochimaru. That made him extra dangerous. "Now Naruto, is that really a question you need to ask? I'm here for Sasuke-kun, of course. I don't know what you did to his seal, but for some reason he's not responding to it at all. This just won't do. We need him full of anger and hate. Don't worry though, we'll figure out how to remove that cover you put on it so Sasuke can fully experience all of his most raw emotions." Naruto quickly charged Kabuto, but the man just raised his foot, kicking Naruto in the face, making the boy roll away. "Come on Naruto, I figured you were faster than that. Orochimaru praised your speed, so show me what you've got." Kabuto threw Sasuke to the side. Naruto got on all fours though as his first tail appeared. Naruto's body vibrated with the power coursing through it right now, and he kept pulling on more chakra. He needed more power. "There we go," Kabuto smirked. "Come at me now, demon." Naruto let loose a roar that scared away any animals that could have even been remotely close. He then attacked at full speed, creating a Rasengan faster than the man could see, shoving it into Kabuto's gut. The older teen coughed as blood shot out of his mouth before he flew off the edge of the mountainside. Naruto took no chances though as he followed the man over the edge, shooting towards Kabuto, who was already healing his own injury. Naruto used the Kyuubi cloak to extend a chakra arm, grabbing Kabuto with the poisonous chakra, burning the man as he squeezed him before slamming the man's body into the wall of the mountain. Naruto landed on the water, as it started to steam around him from the chakra of his powerful friend. After a moment Kabuto started to get up and walk out of the hole that was made. This just might be a little bit hard. The man's stomach was exposed and showed signs of burns that were already healing. "Don't worry Naruto, after I kill you, I'll bring Sasuke to Lord Orochimaru, where after we remove your seal Orochimaru will take over his body to have the Sharingan for himself." Naruto stared down the man as a second tail started to form. He wasn't about to let all of this go to waste. Dark clouds started to fill the sky as lightning started to show, the thunder was deafening. Someone was going to die today. Sasuke was lucky it wasn't going to be him. Naruto's roar was deafening after he produced a second tail. Kabuto pressed his glasses to his eyes before blue chakra covered his hands. This is going to be rather difficult, isn't it? Don't worry, I have no qualms about killing you before taking Sasuke, Kabuto said before Naruto shot off faster than the man was ready for. Naruto quickly appeared in front of the man with a punch to his face. Kabuto's body flew backwards, but Naruto didn't stop there as he shot off faster, slamming his leg down, Kabuto's body disappearing under the deep blue water below them. Naruto stood atop the water waiting for the man to reappear. The young Jinchuriki wasn't stupid enough to believe that Kabuto was dead. Moments later he resurfaced, cracking his neck. Kabuto spoke, My, I would say that you're almost as fast as Orochimaru. Too bad for you, I can keep up with him, you won't catch me off guard like that again, I promise, Kabuto said as his hands became blue again. This time the older man charged the boy. Naruto was about to charge back when a hand from underneath grabbed his ankle. Naruto felt the muscles in his ankle tear away like paper and he realized that Kabuto made a clone. The boy fell face first into the water. He was too slow to get up though as Kabuto's hand reached both his arm and lower back. Naruto coughed out blood as the chakra from Kurama did its best to quickly heal him of his injuries. His ankle was healed quick enough and Naruto jumped up headbutting Kabuto. With his good arm he quickly charged the Rasengan. Kabuto wasn't stupid though, he effortlessly dodged the attack, smirking until Naruto's tail bitch slapped him. Kabuto's smirk quickly went away, being replaced with anger. Play around all you want to, I'll just make this more painful for you. You might heal fast, but all it takes is one hit to your heart or brain to end all of this, Kabuto said. Naruto though turned around slowly, Kabuto's eyes reeling as he realized what the boy was doing. Kabuto quickly jumped as far back as he could while making hand signs. You ready, Kurama? Naruto asked, hoping for a good answer. We've used the tailed beast bomb hundreds of times, you've got this, the beast smirked. Even though he knew the technique would be severely underpowered with only 2 tails, it was still going to be destructive. Naruto looked down at Kabuto shooting the bomb off as Kabuto finished his hand signs, making a water wall, hoping that would slow the attack down enough for him to escape the blast radius. After making the wall he quickly ran up the wall of the cliff. The bomb shot through the water wall which made no difference and exploded the second it hit the side of the cliff. The explosion was spectacular to say in the least. A good portion of the wall was now missing. Kabuto was thrown off the wall just from the shockwave of the explosion. Naruto was even knocked back some because of how close he was. Naruto got up after a second. He had 2 tails, but after that attack, he was barely holding a single tail. This wasn't good. He needed to keep this up until he defeated Kabuto. He quickly scanned the area, not seeing the man anywhere. His face showed confusion, thinking that maybe the man was under the water once more waiting to strike again. Stop looking so helpless down there, Kabuto shouted, getting Naruto's attention at the man who seemed unscathed by the attack. Kabuto was holding Sasuke, obviously as a bluff. Naruto knew the man couldn't harm the boy or else Orochimaru would kill him. At the same time though, Naruto knew he couldn't attack head-on without seriously hurting his unconscious friend. If I'm being honest, I could care less about this fucking Uchiha, but Orochimaru would kill me if he returned injured, but I bet you understand this already. At the same time I know you can't attack me if I'm holding the boy. Kabuto smirked as he saw Naruto scowl. They both knew he was right. That was until Sasuke opened his eyes and headbutted Kabuto in the neck before jumping off the cliff. Kabuto let go of the boy due to the nature of the surprise attack. Naruto was too surprised to even move until Sasuke yelled at him. Fucking do something, Dobi, Sasuke yelled as he tried to get his grip on the side of the cliff so he didn't slam into the water down below. Naruto shook his head knowing he had no time to waste, quickly tried to shoot off another Baijudama at the man. Kabuto widened his eyes as he saw the attack blast towards him. He went to jump off the edge of the cliff, but was mistaken at where the bomb was heading. The bomb instead blew up right behind him as it crashed into the side of the mountain. Kabuto was blasted forward from the concussive blast of the explosion, while the explosive itself tore into his back, giving the man nasty chakra burns. Sasuke, who was holding onto the side of the mountain at that point in time, lost any grip he had as he fell to the water, slamming into it back first. Sasuke choked out as he fell into the unconscious again while his body slowly fell under the water. Naruto, visibly tired, now supporting no chakra form, tried to get over to his friend but found it hard to even keep himself afloat with what little chakra he had. Kumar, is there anything more you can give me? Naruto pleaded to his friend. I'm doing all I can, but there is no more chakra I can force out through these gates. Whatever you do will be on what you can do, the beast said as he attempted to push out even a small dribble of his chakra to the boy. Naruto dove under the water, seeing Sasuke's form slowly sinking to the dark emptiness below. Naruto swam as fast as he could, ignoring the burning in his lungs. He smirked as he grabbed onto Sasuke, but the boy was so heavy that he was pulling Naruto down with him. Naruto took out a kunai and cut off Sasuke's shirt and pants, having all of the boy's gear float away as Naruto now dragged the considerably lighter boy up. Naruto had to fight to get the boy up. He didn't even care about the shore, he was just trying to get above the water so he could breathe in fresh air again. After a few more hard strokes he was able to pull his head above the water. He tried to focus his chakra so he could stand on the water, but it wasn't working. He didn't have enough in him. He pulled Sasuke up above the water and slowly backstroked towards the shore. He just needed to get to dry land so he could give Sasuke CPR and then punch the boy, for making him have to do CPR. Naruto was struggling to not fall into the sweet embrace of sleep as he kept pulling his body to the shoreline. Nonetheless, he got there and dragged Sasuke up the beach before bending over him. "You're a real pain in the ass, you know that, Uzumaki," a voice said from behind. Naruto couldn't even move as Kabuto struck Naruto from the back, Naruto's limp form falling forward as his eyes fluttered behind until his eyelids closed. Finally, Kabuto said, tossing Naruto's body away before he quickly got down on his knees listening to Sasuke's lungs. "Fuck," the man said as the green flow of chakra enveloped his hands and he started CPR. Within moments Sasuke was coughing out water, the boy quickly leaning to his side puking out the water that was just inside of him, before drinking in the air around him that he desperately needed. "It's good to have you back with the living, Sasuke-kun," Kabuto said, standing up before getting kicked from behind. "So you're with Orochimaru, I'm guessing," a gruff voice said, Kabuto looking up at his new opponent, cursing to himself. "Asuma Sarutobi, now what are you doing here?" Kabuto was inwardly cursing. He couldn't fight this man and win, and he knows it. He was tired, and the man didn't even look winded, which means he had no obstacles on the way here. Kabuto could see a shadow clone carrying Naruto away. "I'm here to get the kid back, so either go away, or die," Asuma said as he spit out the cigarette and pulled out his trench knives. A low hum could be heard as the older Jounin coated the weapons with chakra, showing just how serious he was. Asuma could see the look of worry on the boy's face. Kabuto knew he was strong, but he also knew his limits, but returning to Orochimaru empty-handed also guaranteed his death. Here he had a fighting chance. Kabuto quickly covered his hands in chakra as he jumped at Asuma. The man dodged to the side as his face showed pure anger while bringing his left hand up, slicing Kabuto in half. The boy fell to the ground with nothing left in his body. "Trying to fucking come at me, how stupid are you?" Asuma said as he put his knives back up and grabbed another cigarette. The man lit it as he looked at Sasuke. "Can you walk, boy?" the man said, puffing his addiction. Sasuke shook his head. His body was still weak from whatever it was that happened. Asuma sighed before picking the boy up and putting him on his back. "You better hold on, then we're going back to the village. I would advise getting some sleep. I'll push chakra through my body to keep you warm since you have no clothes and are drenched." "I don't need you getting sick, kid," Asuma said with what seemed like sincerity in his voice. Sasuke just listened to the man, not sure of what was going to happen to him next. It wasn't long before his eyes were closed as he felt the heat radiating off the Jounin and he fell asleep. Kiba arrived to find the three ninja unconscious. He was happy to not see any signs of the water kid around. He quickly ran over to the closest, Neji, while Akamaru jumped out of his coat checking Lee out. Kiba didn't know much about helping people, but he knew that he would be able to carry everyone home if need be. He got to Neji and listened closely to the boy's chest. He was breathing, but it was faint. His heartbeat was weak too. But it was there, and that was something. Akamaru yipped at Kiba, getting the boy's attention. "What's up, boy?" Kiba jogged over, just to stare wide-eyed at Lee. His leg should not be in that position. It also looked like he broke some ribs. "We'll have to be careful about bringing him back home. We don't want to hurt him worse." Akamaru yipped in agreement. Kiba looked around and saw Haku on the ground not far from Neji. He was surprised he didn't see her when he first got there. He must have overlooked her by accident. The boy got over to her and could tell she was asleep. She didn't seem too badly hurt, which means she could help carry someone back. Kiba pulled out a scent from his pouch and waved it under the girl's nose while covering his own. His advanced sense of smell made the scent 1,000 times worse. Haku quickly shot up, looking around before she realized what was going on. She shoved Kiba to the side as she quickly went to Neji's side. "Neji-kun," she said worriedly as she started to check the boy out. "Don't worry, as long as we get him back to the village he should be fine," Kiba said. Haku nodded. "You carry him, me and Akamaru will get Lee, he's in worse condition." "Don't wait up for us, just hurry back," Kiba said. Haku didn't even complain about picking up the Hyuga running back to the village. "Alright Hakamaru, let's transform and get Lee back to the village." Carefully the dog yipped cheerfully before the two transformed. They carefully picked up Lee, making sure to not hurt him too much, and decided that walking would be the best course of action since running would only further the injury. It has been a crazy long morning, he can't believe what all had happened, and running into that girl. Kiba was truly terrified. How Naruto had even attempted to fight her was beyond him. Smelling Naruto though sent chills through his body. He saw the boy's eyes had gone red, and his scent had completely changed. He didn't even smell like Naruto anymore. It wasn't a scent he had encountered before, and what really worried him was that he wasn't sure who scared him more, the girl or Naruto. Kiba shook his head, not wanting to think about it. He had a long walk ahead of him and he didn't need wandering thoughts getting the best of him. "Hey, you sense that?" Izumo asked Kotetsu as the two got up from the desk. "Yay, it's obviously a ninja, and they're running pretty fast, though it's vaguely familiar," the latter said as they got out of the desk to see who was coming. Izumo grabbed the binoculars and looked around trying to see someone. "Hey, it's that chick who's always with Zabuza with a Hyuga on her back," he said, throwing the binoculars to the side, running up to the girl. "Hey, what's going on?" "We were sent on an emergency mission by the Hokage for Sasuke Uchiha. Neji here got really hurt. I don't know what's wrong though. We need to get to the hospital," Haku said, more than obviously out of breath, her body covered in sweat. "I'll take him from here and see about getting a unit of medical nin to come out here for you." "Is there anyone else?" Izumo asked, trying to get information. "Yes, but I don't know how many. Me and Zabuza-sama were backup, and if we're the first ones back then everyone else is still out there," Haku said. The man bit his lip, thinking of what he could do. He didn't have that much authority to send out ninja for a mission. He would have to contact the Hokage. "Okay, I'll get him too. The hospital, you just rest here and we'll get someone for you also." "Alright," Izumo said as the girl shook her head as she slumped down against the gate, thankful for the break. "Kotetsu, call the Hokage. Tell her I need her at the hospital ASAP." Kotetsu nodded, running behind the desk and picking up the phone back there. Izumo ran off to the hospital, needing to get the Hyuga there quickly. He couldn't feel a pulse on the kid. "What's going on, Izumo? Why did you have Kotetsu summon me here?" "This better be important, damn it," Tsunade said as she walked into the ER, seeing her ninja facer. "I won't bullshit you." Hakuyuki, the ninja who was accompanied by Zabuza Momchi, came to the village gates with Neji Hyuga pulseless in her arms. "I brought him here," she said. "There were more people. They were sent out on an emergency mission by you." I didn't press her for details, but if there's a large group out there and the first of the stragglers are coming back like this, I worry for the rest. "Hokage-sama, I want your permission to send out a group of med nin with some Inuzuka to find the rest of the group and make sure everyone else is okay," Izumo said. "Where's the girl at?" Tsunade asked. "She was exhausted and was left by the gate resting with Kotetsu nearby. I sent out someone to bring her back here to make sure she was okay." Tsunade's mind started racing, thinking of what could have happened to the rest of the group. She sent two Jounin, but she still had a nagging feeling that she should listen to this boy. Tsunade got out some pen and paper, writing some names down. "This is the people that were sent out on the mission. You are to get 5 med ninja and 3 Inuzuka, Chunin rank or higher only. This signature is mine and mine alone. They will listen to your orders. Now go, I will personally check on the Hyuga," Tsunade said as she headed upstairs, knowing exactly where the boy would have been brought. She prayed that she could get to his room in time, or that he had already been resuscitated and she could stabilize him. Izumo quickly ran through the building trying to find capable medical ninja. Before he could reach the break room where most med ninja were known to be at, he ran into someone. "Son of a bitch, I'm sorry, let me help." Izumo stopped short when he saw the girl in front of him. "Looks like it's your lucky day. I need your help, Shizune-san," Izumo said as the girl looked at him before he helped her up. "Okay, I've got the Inuzuka with me. Were you able to get anyone who could help as well?" Izumo asked as Shizune landed in front of him. Before the girl could speak, 4 other ninjas landed on either side of her. Izumo smirked. "Okay then, you're in charge of this mission, Shizune. I'll let you debrief." Shizune was nervous to say the least. She hadn't been in the village long, and didn't know any of these ninjas, and now she had to lead them all on a search and rescue mission. She wishes she could have at least seen Tsunade-sama before the start of this mission to know more about what she is getting herself into. "Okay everyone, you may not know me well, but I am Tsunade-sama's personal apprentice and was with her before she came back to the village as Hokage. So I hope you will give me a chance at the very least for this mission." She knew she didn't have much time and needed to get right to business. Earlier this morning, Shikamaru Nara, Neji Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka, Rock Lee and Naruto Uzumaki were sent out on a mission. From what I've been told, Zabuza Momchi and his apprentice Hakuyuki were sent as a backup team. Hakuyuki and Neji Hyuga are the only two to return so far, and the Hyuga boy was pulseless when he got back and is currently in surgery. Our mission right now is to try and track down the rest of this team and confirm if anyone else is still alive or not. Shizune was cut off. You mean to tell me my little brother hasn't come back yet? A female voice spoke up. I'm sorry, what's your name, Inuzuka-san? And if you mean Kiba, then yes, as of right now he, along with everyone else, have not returned, Shizune said. It's Hana Inuzuka, Shizune-san. If that's the case, I will take the lead. I know his scent better than anyone else. If we all get to him, the rest of my clansmen will be able to get the smell of the others off him to try and find the rest of the group if they aren't with him, Hana said. Shizune nodded at the girl. Okay then, no reason to waste any more time talking. Let's go. Hana, take lead, Shizune said, no one complaining as they all took off. If I don't hurry he won't make it, the clone of Asuma thought as he ran as fast as he could back to the village with Naruto. When he got the boy while the original took on the enemy, he could quickly feel the young Uzumaki's pulse disappearing. Even at full speed, though the village wasn't close, he was still easily another hour from the village, and at this rate Naruto would die. His pulse was weak when he got him, but now he wasn't even sure if the boy had a pulse. If so, it was so weak he couldn't feel it. He just hoped that the damn Kyuubi would pity the boy enough to keep him alive. Because if he didn't, then not only would Naruto die, but the Kyuubi would reform in a few years, and who knows what the fox would do if that were to happen. It's not a risk he wanted to happen. The man tried to urge his body to go faster, but he knew that this was as fast as he could go. He wished that guy was here instead. The man was easily the fastest jounin around. Hell, he would already be back to the village with the boy, and probably be relaxing in the hospital. That guy might be eccentric, but he was damn fast and a damn good jounin. He had no time to think about other people, though he had things he needed to get done. The man looked down at the boy in his arms. He never got the chance to know the boy like most other people, but the way his dad talked about him, he just knew that he was special. He didn't trust the Kyuubi worth a damn, but he also knew the container wasn't the monster, just the jailer. At the end of the day, this boy was another ninja of his village, and as his superior he would do all he could to help keep this boy alive and well. Asuma could tell that the boy had fallen asleep. He was in no real rush to get back to the village, so he jumped through the trees at a leisurely pace. He was able to put down Kabuto, and help complete the mission and get the Uchiha back. The boy may have gone through some shit, as well as everyone else on this mission. He didn't really know how everyone else was doing. He knew Zabuza was worse for wear, but he took care of Shikamaru, and in his books the man was okay in his books. He cared deeply about that boy, and Zabuza literally lost a limb protecting the boy, so he hopes that he can find a way to repay the man. Maybe he'll get him a drink sometime if he survives the journey back to Konoha. He didn't get to see how Naruto was doing, but with the Kyuubi in him he didn't really think there was anything to worry about. That boy would be up and about in no time at all. The way he healed, nothing would keep him down. He didn't run into anyone else, but he didn't think that the rest of the group would be into much trouble with who was sent. The Hyuga prodigy was there along with Guy's Mini-Me. Those two were strong as hell. Mixed with Zabuza's apprentice, they should be more than fine. Hell, they're probably walking back to the village right now. Kiba was unaccounted for, but if he knew the Inuzukas enough, he knew that the boy wouldn't go down without a good fight. Asuma smiled. He knew everything would work out. Zabuza was the only maybe in this scenario. He didn't see anyone else being badly hurt. Now all he had to do was get back and debrief so he could get some sleep. 2 ranked missions back to back was annoying. Somehow the man knew everything would work out just fine. Oh, thank God you're alive. Kiba's head perked up as he heard the familiar voice. He wanted to run ahead, but with the boy he was carrying he knew better than to do that. Oh my God, is Lee-kun okay? Shizune quickly jumped ahead with another medic nin. They carefully took the boy from Kiba and set him down. Akamaru immediately dispelled the transformation jutsu. Having already been low on chakra, the small dog was now exhausted. Kiba picked him up as Shizune overlooked Lee's injuries before relaxing. Kanzan, will you please take over this boy's injuries? His life isn't in any immediate danger. Get him good enough for transfer and then bring him back to the village. Kiba-kun here will wait with you, Shizune said as the girl nodded and started to work on Lee's injuries as Kiba sat down with Akamaru. So Brad, where's everyone else? Hana asked her brother as everyone took a quick breather. They were a decent way outside the village, and who knew how long Kiba had been carrying Lee for. Kiba took a second to sniff the air, focusing on his friend's individual sense, trying to locate where anyone was. After a few moments of sniffing he smirked. Still got it. Shikamaru is northwest of here. He's with someone else, I don't know who. Naruto is too far away for me to tell though. Zabuza Momchi is also behind him with someone else, I don't know who though. I can also smell a lot of blood. Kiba's voice trailed off as he thought about the enemy they had encountered over there. Hana could tell from looking at her brother that he was scared, which worried her, because he never openly showed fear. "Be careful please. The enemy which we had fought is." She was on another level that was terrifying. "I hope the blood I smell is hers and she's dead." "If you focus you can smell the blood too." Naruto had moved north from the location of where all the blood is. "That's all I know," Kiba said, trying to remember where Naruto had went so they could make sure he was okay as well. The girl nodded. "It'll be okay, I promise. You and Akamaru just relax, you've earned it," Hana said. Meanwhile Kiba knew that he didn't earn it. All he did today was run away from the battles. He didn't do much of anything. Today he knew what it was like to be truly weak and he hated it. It was humiliating. "Alright everyone, let's go," Hana said as the rest of the group took off. They were now down to 4 medics, but still had all 3 in Uzaka. It was a good start, but they were smart enough to know it will get worse quickly. The group ran in silence as Hana led them. They quickly ran into the Asuma clone with Shikamaru. The clone dispersed himself after saying what he knew and telling the group in which direction he went to find Naruto, letting them know the boy was heading towards the Valley of the End. Shikamaru told them everything that happened up until Izuyama met them while he got his ankle fixed. Needless to say, the group were shocked, and when they heard about how bad Zabuza was after saving the new Chunin's life. Shizune quickly took off with the other 2 medics and 2 of the Inuzukas to make sure they could save the man even if they needed to perform field surgery. Once they had caught up, the clone was already well aware that they were on the way from the first clone's memories coming in from being dispersed. Shizune along with her other 2 teammates very carefully put Zabuza down as she pulled out a scroll. She quickly summoned a blanket and put the man on it so to get less dirt and other bacteria in his wounds. She immediately started working on the man's evisceration, while the other 2 worked on his arm. Asuma gave them the other half of the arm that was severed. It was still fresh. "Shizune, should we try to reattach the arm or focus on stopping blood flow while fixing any nerve damage that may have been caused by the tourniquet?" Rai asked, needing to know what to do, and with Shizune being the apprentice of Tsunade herself, she had the highest authority right now. "Try the arm, but if it's a lost cause, move on to closing the wound before releasing the tourniquet. If you close the wound you won't need to stop blood flow, and just worry about any damage to nerves or muscles that may have been done. I'll handle this evisceration." "I don't know how he's holding out though when he literally had a kidney ripped out of him." I thought Shikamaru was exaggerating, more like hoped he was I should say, but Zabuza is actually missing it. "I was able to fix most of the internal damage, but there's still a lot for me to do. I need to focus, and he needs blood, he's lost a lot. But with his stomach still open I can't risk giving him a blood pill or else he'll start gushing out blood faster than he can reproduce it." Shizune started talking out loud, more so to herself than to the other 2. Rai and his teammate got to working on the arm, trying to reattach the limb. Zabuza was long since unconscious, which wasn't making anything any better. Shizune had finally finished working on the man's innards, doing all that she could. She had no tools with her, so she had to use her chakra as an extra extensions, closing and repairing what she could. She was good at this, but Tsuan had perfected this technique, plus the Sannin had more chakra, making it easier for her to do this. Shizune quickly ate a chakra pill, feeling her reserves fill to the brim and then some. She quickly got to work using the excess chakra to finish repairing the man's insides so he didn't have any more internal bleeding. She then focused on his stomach, forcing the man's skin to grow back at an exceptional rate before the wound closed itself. When she finally finished, she collapsed next to the demon of the mist. Covered in sweat, she had never done anything like this before, and she can't believe it worked. Though the skin was still extremely fragile and he would still need Tsunade to finish up, the man would live. Shizune forced the man to eat a blood pill and watched as his body became less anemic as the increased production of blood was able to carry more oxygenated cells throughout the body, and she smiled as his skin got warmer. "How are you 2 doing?" Shizune asked, looking at the other 2 who were working together on the arm. "We were able to reattach the arm, but we don't have the proper utensils to reconnect everything, so he's still getting a lot of edema inside the arm. We were able to at least fuse the skin back together and reconnect the bones. We started with the radius and ulna, putting those back together, before connecting at the humerus. I then worked on putting back together the axillary, musculocutaneous, median, radial, and ulnar nerves. I don't have the chakra for everything, so I focused on what was more important," Rai stated while looking at the man. He took a breath before continuing. "After I finished that I was pretty much tapped out of chakra, but as long as we get him back to the hospital he should be able to use his arm again. It will be months of rehabilitation, but he will be fine. Just because I reconnected everything doesn't mean it's okay. There is still a lot of nerve damage, and everything in his arm still wasn't reattached. Sachi here helped make sure I was connecting everything right while also helping me out. It was extremely delicate. I didn't want to connect the wrong nerves together or else the stimuli in his arms would be messed up. Once he finished, he leaned back. Sachi was lying on her back, sweat dripping down her face. The two were older jounin, but Shizune was beyond impressed with what the two did. We worked with Tsuandazama a little bit in the last war. That's where we were able to pick up some really good experience and techniques. Though I've never done anything like this in the field, on a surgical table sure, but this was a whole nother thing. Just glad it worked, Sachi said, showing their true ages to everyone there. That's amazing. I'm going to disperse now so the original me can find you all. Hopefully he already has Naruto and Sasuke, Asuma said before popping out of existence. Shizune was confused. She didn't know Sasuke was a part of this mission. Don't worry, we're almost there. Can't believe I'm turning around, but fuck it. Those medicnin are closer than the village. Hopefully Shizune can help you, Naruto the clone thought as he sprinted towards the group. He was fairly close actually, he just hoped that they could help out. Shizune-san, I smell another clone of Asuma. He's running this way fast. Naruto is with him. I don't know when he passed us, but he came back. He should be here any moment, Hana said as Shizune nodded, calming herself. It hadn't even been 5 minutes since they fixed up Zabuza and sent him with a one Inuzuka who brought their dog with them. The dog was giant, so Zabuza was able to lay on the animal's back while they went back to the village. Please help him, Asuma said as he jumped in front of the group. Shizune frowned. There were no physical marks of abuse to the boy. She wouldn't even think that he was injured. Then she noticed there was no rise or fall in his chest. He's not breathing. Rai and Sachi noticed it too. The three got to the boy and all started to inspect the boy. Shizune had the hindsight to give them her last 2 soldier pills. What happened to him? Shizune asked as she scanned his body. He fought against Kabuto Yakashi, Orochimaru's right-hand man. The man is well versed with chakra scalpels, Asuma said. The minute he said that, all 3 sets of hands glowed a darker shade of green as they all focused on different parts of the boy's chest. His right lung isn't working, Sachi had said within moments. His superior vena cava has been sliced. He hardly even has any kind of pulse, Shizune said with a tremble in her voice. His pulmonary veins have been sliced. He's not breathing because his lungs are filled with blood. Okay, Sachi, focus on stopping the blood flow, while I move the blood out of his lungs. We'll worry about fixing his right lung later. Right now we need to get his lungs clear. Shizune, start working on his vena cava. If we are going to save him we need to do everything we can right now, Rai said, his gruff voice demanding of them. No one complained as they all 3 got to work quickly. Shizune closed her eyes and focused her breathing. She probably had the most difficult job, because after she was done, she then also had to try and shock his heart into restarting. To stop him from becoming asystole. He was already in ventricular fibrillation, the heart wasn't even beating anymore, it was having quivers, it couldn't even properly pump anymore. This was really bad. Rai was quick to move the blood out of Naruto's lungs, but until Sachi could finish what she was doing, more would just pool in there from where the pulmonary veins were sliced. The girl's job was hard because she had to force the veins to regrow from where they were severed, and they had to be just right. They also needed to be strong enough to carry the oxygenated blood back and forth without rupturing again. Then again, if they could get his heart and lungs back to working, hopefully the QB would start working on fixing the boy for them. This couldn't be a slow process either, Rai sighed as he kept moving blood out of the boy's lungs, that way when the time came he could have them fill with air. Sachi could feel the pulse of chakra, and she could tell that Shizune had finished her part and was now trying to shock Naruto's heart back into NSR, normal sinus rhythm. She ignored it though as she focused now on strengthening the veins. She finally fixed them, but that's not enough. If she didn't reinforce them with sturdy layers then the veins would just break again. Sachi focused her chakra on just trying to strengthen the veins. Time seemed to have stopped for everyone there as they were all crowded around the 3 medic ninja. It wasn't until Naruto's mouth opened as wide as possible, forcing in an absurd amount of air, that everyone seemed to breath. The 3 medics didn't stop though until they felt the chakra of a certain demon fox moving through the boy's body, correcting everything that needed to be corrected. Okay, now we can go home, Shizune said as she laid on her back, the other 2 medics with her, none of them moving. Is that everything? Tsuand was sitting in her chair. It had been a crazy 48 hours, she still couldn't believe it had happened. The man sighed as his hand itched to grab a cigarette. From what I understand, yay, though of course a lot of the information I have are from my clones, so there can still be a lot of missed context, but that's the gist of it. The man was annoyed. He returned to the village yesterday morning, but Tsunade personally went into surgery to help everyone who had been hurt on the mission. He had been stuck waiting for her to show up to give his report, though after he saw the face that his cage made when he brought in Naruto he could understand. Everyone was in bad condition, but Naruto's heart was severed. Even with the field help he had gotten, it's still a miracle the child survived. Had it been anyone else, the Jounin knew that they would be dead on the spot. Had it not been for who the boy is and what he is, he would have been dead the second his clone left with the boy. There was also Zabuza. His clone watched what the medics did, and to say it was gruesome was an understatement. All three were covered in blood by the time they got back. It was like they took a bath in the sticky liquid. Ryan Sachi, as he learned the names of the other two medics with Shizune, were thankful that they were able to help. Honestly, it was dumb luck that those three medics came along with Shizune. Had they not, Naruto would never have made it, neither would Zabuza. Rock Lee, he was still in good condition, but his sensei Might Guy was beyond distressed that the boy was as badly hurt as he was. Thankfully none of the damage was extensive. Neji Hyuga was another story though. From what he was told, the boy was brought to the village and was pulseless by the time he had gotten back. Tsunade went to personally assist the boy. They were able to bring back the boy from the brink of death, but the boy still had a lot of damage. But he wouldn't be working for a while. The Hyuga was going to need a lot of rehabilitation, so would Lee, but they would both be fine. Haku was the least damaged of the three. She had more chakra exhaustion than any other real problems. Then there was Shikamaru and Kiba. Kiba had nothing happen to him, he wasn't even exhausted. Shikamaru was stabbed, but nothing major was cut, it was a clean wound. He was fine, just needed to let it heal naturally. Tsuan still fixed the boy up so she could get a report from him. Shikamaru figured out what Naruto was too, and Tsuan made him promise not to tell anyone, and that included Naruto. It was up to Naruto to say something to him first. Shikamaru didn't care either which way honestly, because having known the boy personally he knew Naruto was a good guy. Tsunade personally helped Naruto the minute she heard he was in the hospital. Shizune, Ryan Sachi were required to be in the ore with her to give a report while the Sannin worked on the small blonde boy. The Cage was honestly surprised at what the three ninjas were able to do. The boy's life wasn't even in danger anymore, but she was still able to do a lot. The Kyuubi had helped in the healing process, she could tell, but by the time she started to operate, the Kyuubi's chakra wasn't even in the boy's system, meaning the fox wasn't helping the healing process for whatever reason. Tsuan didn't mind though, her prodigy and her teammates did all the hard work, she reinforced it and Naruto was fine. Now it was a matter of him just waking up. Zabuza was just as bad off as Naruto, worse so due to the missing organs and blood loose. How he was still alive blew Tsuan's mind. She was able to fix the components of the man's arm that weren't fully healed and made sure that Zabuza would be able to keep the limb, even if he would need more physical therapy than anyone else. The organs though, she was at a loss. If she couldn't get him a new kidney, the man wouldn't be able to stay a ninja. The trauma alone from having it ripped out was intensive. The body was demanding a replacement and she needed to find a donor or else she was going to lose a good shinobi. The man was being kept on life support. Tsuan pulled her mind away from the hospital setting though and focused back onto Asuma in front of her. "How was Sasuke when you found him?" she asked the man. There better at least be good news out of this mess, or else she would personally hunt down her teammate and end him for good. "He was fine." His curse mark had another addition to it. It looks like another seal was added on top of it. "If I were you, I'd get Jiraiya-sama or Arashi to look at it." He was just exhausted. Something seemed to bother him. He barely said a word. "He's sleeping right now on the couch in your other waiting room. An Anbu offered to watch him for me," Asuma said. Tsuan sighed. At least something good came out of this. She just hoped everyone pulled through. She would send a letter to Jiraiya asking the man to come back early. Hopefully he's met with all of his important contacts. "Thank you, Asuma. Take the next couple of days off and go relax. Your money will be added to your bank for an A-rank mission by the time you get home. Go relax. I'll go see Sasuke right now," Tsuan said as she got up. What she really wanted to do was have a drink, but she knew that wasn't going to happen anytime soon. She headed over to the private waiting room. The Anbu snapped up to the door. As soon as he saw his cage, he bowed and disappeared into the shadows. The cage walked over to the young boy. Taking a seat next to him, she carefully woke him up. The Uchiha stirred slowly, blinking his eyes as he looked up, trying not to blush at the giant bust that was by his face. Sasuke sat up as he looked at his Hokage, getting rid of the thoughts that initially invaded his mind. "Hokage-sama," Sasuke said, trying to be polite. "Hey, how are you feeling? I know it's been kind of crazy after you got kidnapped. Kakashi told me how they somehow got you over with the genjutsu to get you to go with them. The man is going to be okay though. He's healing in the hospital right now, but he's doing better. I was able to help save him before I sent everyone out to retrieve you. I don't even want to think about what would have happened if Orochimaru got you," Tsuan said, trying to be sincere to the boy. He had been through a lot just like everyone else. "All I need from you is your side of the story to get all the information together." Tsunade told the boy as the young Uchiha nodded. I arrived after Kakashi had taken out the first enemy. He used some kind of weird black fire that killed the man. I jumped in, stopping an attack from the one named Suigetsu that almost got Kakashi-sensei and kicked the man back. I went to attack again, but the boy talked to me, and it was weird. I don't know why, but his words flowed to me, and before I knew it, I was outside the village gates. I'm not completely sure what happened. Sasuke burrowed his eyebrows, trying to act confused. His sensei saved him and he now owed the man more than his life. He would repay the man somehow. For now he needed to talk with him alone. Tsuan could tell that the boy was trying to remember all the events, and waited to let the boy continue. Sasuke took a breath. The ninja made me take a pill, saying it would kill me to make me stronger. After I had taken the pill, they put me in this barrel and sealed the lid shut. I blacked out for God knows how long. When I came to, the seal had broken and I pushed the lid off. I saw Naruto fighting someone and was confused at what was going on. Then I remember watching Kakashi get stabbed and everything hit me and I just ran. Just before reaching the Valley of End, I felt the seal trying to take over. I tried to suppress it. I didn't want to give in to Orochimaru's influence. It was so painful. My blood felt like it was on fire, and it felt like I was also being stabbed. I was trying to control it when Naruto came upon me. Then he did something. He said it would help me, and when he woke up, Naruto was covered in that terrifying chakra and fighting Kabuto. I distracted Kabuto enough for Naruto to keep fighting, but as soon as I hit the water I blacked out again. I fell from the top of the cliff and landed back first on the water, Sasuke said before stopping to think again. I don't know when I came to, but I was with Azuma-sensei and now I'm here, Sasuke told the women. Tsuan nodded her head before asking, when you saw Naruto fighting Kabuto, what do you mean terrifying chakra? It was like a red coat of chakra with what looked like two tails behind him. His face looked more feral, his whiskers more pronounced, his teeth were more canine-like and his fingernails were longer and sharper like a wolf or a fox, Sasuke said, remembering seeing his friend like that. Thank you, Sasuke. Go to the hospital now. Get admitted if you think you need medical services. If not, go check on everyone who went to save you. Tsuan pulled out a sheet of paper. This is everyone who was sent out, she said as Sasuke took the paper, reading over the names of his peers. He was scared because he remembered Guren and how she was, and he hoped everyone was okay. Thank you, Hokage-sama, Sasuke said as he sat there for a moment more looking at the list of names. Tsunade got up to leave, but was stopped by the boy. How is Naruto? I didn't get to see him after I passed out again. The worry in the boy's voice made the Hokage's heart soften a bit. If I'm being honest, he should be dead right now. Sasuke felt the air leave his throat as his arms started to shake thinking about the Dobi being dead. But thankfully my protege Shizune was in the field with two good teammates of hers and they were able to save him. Sasuke visible calmed down hearing this, letting out a breath he didn't know he was holding in. You're lucky Asuma rushed him back and Shizune met him in time, Tsuan said before leaving the boy to his own devices. Sasuke knew what he had to do now. It was time to stop letting his past with Itachi control him. After everything that just happened, he knew that it was time to change for the better. Sasuke stood up and left the building with two important goals in mind for the day. For now he had to get to the hospital. Sakura was with Kakashi when she heard that Naruto had finally gotten his own room. She was given the details of the mission from Tsuan when she had left to find the cage. Tsuan was never late for their training sessions, and when she found her at the hospital with his sensei, she decided to give the older man company. When she came back the next morning, she heard that everyone had come back. She didn't get any straight facts, but she heard that Naruto was found dead. Her heart broke hearing this until she heard from Shizune sensei that Tsunade was with the boy and he would be fine. When she got word that her teammate had a room now and was finally admitted, she left her sensei to go see the boy. Well, first she left to go get him ramen from his favorite place. She was now getting to his room holding the food. She knew her teammate and figured by now he would be up and about trying to escape. She walked into the room and was surprised to see the boy was still asleep. She set the food down and sat next to the boy. She grabbed his hand to hold it, feeling bad about what happened. Naruto didn't deserve any of what happened to him. He really was a good guy. Hell, he got the Hokage to help him. A knock at the door broke her thoughts as she turned around to see Hinata at the door. Sakura's eyes went wide. Hinata. What are you doing out of bed? I didn't even know you were awake, the pink-haired Kunoichi said to her friend who was holding her and was still in her hospital gown. Hey Sakura-san, I woke up last night. I was approached by a couple of doctors who told me what all happened, and then this morning I heard that Naruto was in the hospital. I used my Byakugan and saw him in this room. So I came here to see him, she said as she walked over sitting next to Sakura. If I may ask Sakura-san, what happened? Hinata asked, trying to understand. I don't know all the details, but from what I heard, Naruto was technically dead before he got help from Shizune and Tsunade, Sakura said, before adding, "Oh yay. Tsunade Senju is now the Hokage, she took over for the third who passed on the title to her," Sakura said as Hinata just continued to look at her crush. Hinata grabbed the hand that Sakura had been let go of. Sakura could see the pain in the girl's eyes. They all just wanted the boy to be better. Sakura had already had her breakdown when she heard everything and was handling better now. Hinata was still being hit with a lot of things, plus she was still healing. Naruto was promoted to Chunin by Tsuandazama along with a couple other people. Hinata smiled when she heard this. Sakura was glad she was happy for the boy. "I've been training under Tsunade Teicho too, she's training me to be a medic and to learn to fight better," Sakura said, which caught the girl's attention. "That's amazing, Sakura-san." Hinata bit her lip trying to think about what to say next. Is Naruto-kun going to be okay?" Hinata asked, needing to know. "Yes, he is. Tsunade-sama wouldn't let him die on us, plus you hear Naruto, he won't die until he's Hokage," Sakura said, getting a chuckle out of the pale girl whose eyes never left Naruto's still form. The door suddenly slammed open as both girls turned around to see Sasuke there. Sakura's eyes went wide seeing the boy. Sakura stood up to say something, but before she could, Sasuke stormed up to the girl and kissed her. Sakura just stood there, frozen to the spot, while Hinata gasped at the suddenness of the situation. Sasuke pulled back looking at the girl. He then noticed that Hinata was in the room and cursed himself for not seeing sooner. His eyes went back to Sakura. Half a second later she was just staring at him. Sakura wanted to say something but her mind wouldn't process thoughts right. She had a million different things running through her mind. "I'm tired of living in the past and living only for vengeance. I won't lie, Naruto has saved me in a way, and when we all got on a team together I initially hated you, but I grew to grow more and more fond of you." Sasuke stopped talking to think about what he wanted to say next. "I don't know when it happened, but every time I saw you I got excited and just... I'm done being the bad guy," Sasuke said, being completely honest. Hinata watching felt really awkward right now. This wasn't something she should be a part of, but it's not like she can leave. They were blocking the doorway and she was too weak to move gracefully. "Naruto almost died because of me. I was too weak to do what I needed. The people who kidnapped me said they were thinking about coming after you if they needed to in order to get me, and that's when I realized I did care about you. I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to hide it. I'm not good with flings." Sasuke stopped to think. It was obvious that he wasn't good at expressing his feelings. He was struggling pretty bad to get his words out. "I'm not going to be the best, and I'm trying to change, and even I know that I'm changing, but there's still a lot more for me to go to." Sasuke stopped, not sure what more to say. He had the words but he didn't know how to properly articulate himself. He just wanted to scream, "I'm a fucking mess, but I love you," but no matter how hard he tried he couldn't get the words out. Sakura grabbed Sasuke's hand. "I'm not going anywhere, I want to be by your side," she said as she pulled the boy close to her. She wrapped her arms around him. Sasuke started to shake a little. He didn't realize how much he missed physical contact like this. Hell, the last person to hug him was his mother. "It's my fault, Naruto almost died. I just want to apologize to him," Sasuke said as he held his eyes closed, remembering the pain he felt when the boy came onto him to help stop the pain. Naruto has only ever helped him and he did nothing for it, though he saw Naruto as a brother. Sasuke's eyes were closed tight as a single tear fell down his cheek, Sakura trying to soothe him. He opened his eyes and Hinata let out a gasp, pulling everyone's attention to the girl. "Sasuke-kun, your eyes." The girl was mesmerized and terrified at what she saw. The boy was confused, but Sakura gasped as well when she saw the boy's eyes. "Sasuke, your Sharingan. It's beautiful," Sakura said, staring at the boy. Meanwhile, Sasuke felt himself getting weaker already. He felt like his Sharingan was pulling a lot more chakra than usual. Sasuke took out a kunai and looked at his eyes and almost dropped the weapon as he saw the change in his eyes, Itachi's words echoing in his mind. "Don't come for me until your eyes are the same as mine." Sasuke couldn't help but think he could stand a chance against his brother, until he felt a stinging pain in his eyes and he had to cut off the chakra. As soon as his eyes returned to normal he shook himself. This wasn't the time to be thinking about his brother. From this day forward he was turning a new leaf. "Ignore it, it was nothing," Sasuke said before either girl could question what had just happened. Hinata took this opportunity to excuse herself and go back to her room. Meanwhile, Sasuke and Sakura went to sit by Naruto until Sakura had fallen asleep on Sasuke. Sasuke watched as the sun set. It was oddly calming after what happened. Sakura was sound asleep on his arm and he wasn't going to move her either. He liked her right there. Looking up at Naruto's sleeping form he couldn't help but speak aloud. "It's crazy to think I've always hated you openly, But in reality I've done nothing but respect you and look up to you." Sasuke stopped. He knew he could never admit this, but with everyone asleep he could say it. "Ever since the first time you kicked my ass, I wanted nothing more than to prove myself better than you. You were always a nobody, you were clanless, I was supposed to be a prodigy. But you have always been leagues above me, but don't think I won't catch up to you. Because one day you'll see who's truly the better of the two of us," Sasuke stated until he heard a snicker, his eyes looking up at Naruto's form. "So you can admit I'm better than you, huh?" the boy said as he slowly opened his eyes, draping his arm over his face to stop the sun from blinding him. "You weren't supposed to be awake," Sasuke said, sounding annoyed but happy his friend was okay. "I couldn't sleep with you crying your heart out to me like that, I just had to respond," Naruto said as he sat up in the bed looking at the boy, then seeing Sakura sleeping on him. Naruto grew a sly grin at the sight. Sasuke's cheeks showed a small tinge of red. "Don't say a damn word, Dobi. You're never going to live it down." Naruto gave a small sigh as he smiled. "Just stay happy, you need it. You've been fighting that darkness in you for too long, just don't hurt her or I'll have to hurt you." Sasuke grinned at this. "PSH, you wish you could hurt me, Dobi. There's nothing to worry about though, I won't let anyone hurt her, she's mine and mine alone," Sasuke said, letting the possessiveness in his tone show thoroughly. Sasuke's face fell though. "Thank you for saving me, Naruto," the boy said, surprising the boy. "If you didn't show up when you did, I would have given in to the whispers of evil. The power that Orochimaru gave me would have changed me and I don't even want to think about what I would have become," Sasuke said, Naruto's face more serious as he listened to his friend. "I couldn't just quit on you, you are my friend," Naruto said with a cheeky smile. "What was that though? That power you used, it was so strong. How did you get such a power?" Sasuke asked. Naruto sighed. He needed to explain better to his friend. "I'm the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Yoko, I've shown you this and we've talked about it. This is what it's like when I use his power," Naruto stated, Sasuke's eyes narrowing. "I have control of the power, don't worry, I wouldn't have used it if I didn't. It's why Jiraiya-sama is my teacher, he's helping make sure I never lose control." Sasuke nodded, understanding now. "It all makes sense now, that's why you change whenever you face someone leagues above us." Sasuke smirked. "Don't worry though, Kakashi-sensei and Gai-sensei are going to make me stronger than you." Naruto's face frowned for half a second. Sasuke luckily didn't see it. Naruto knew what actually happened, he just hoped it never happened again. Because if it did he would single-handedly kill the boy. "Just make sure you get stronger while I'm gone. Because Jiraiya and I are leaving, and I don't know when we'll return. When I get back, you better be on my level or else this training will have been for nothing. I want to see how much stronger you get," Naruto said as Sasuke nodded. "Now wake up Sakura and get out of here. And be sure to send Hinata back here if she's able to get up, I could sense her earlier. I need to see her before I leave. If need be I'll visit her if she doesn't come back," Naruto stated as his friend just nodded. Naruto lied back down, closing his eyes. Sasuke woke up Sakura. The girl was slow to stir, and initially eeped as she realized how close she was to the boy before the memories of early that day hit her. "Shanaro. We finally beat that Inopic and got Sasuke-kun all to ourselves," Inner Sakura said as the girl just blushed and smiled. "Come on Sakura, we need to go," Sasuke said as the girl nodded. Naruto woke up for a moment. "He wants Hinata back here if at all possible," the boy said as the two got up. "I'll go get her, wait for me outside, okay?" Sakura asked, hoping the boy would do as she asked. Sasuke smiled and agreed as the two split ways at the doorway. "Naruto-kun," Hinata said as she knocked on the door, walking in once more. Naruto opened his eyes as he saw the girl walk in. "Hey, I'm," the boy said as she smiled and sat next to him. "There is something you need to know," Naruto stated as he sat up, confusing the girl. He faced her, legs hanging off the ledge. "I'm leaving with Jiraiya-sama for training soon and I don't know how long I will be gone for," Naruto said. The girl's eyes went wide for a moment before she lowered her head. It was obvious that she was sad. She didn't want him to leave. Naruto tipped the girl's chin up and kissed her. Hinata did all she could to not faint, her face matching that of a tomato. And she couldn't get his name out. She kept stuttering. She didn't even know how she was still conscious, but she couldn't stop stuttering. "I love you, and I want you to know I want to be with you. Just wait a little while longer. When I come back there will be nothing to worry about. I will come back to you. I just want you to know it will be a while." "I'm sorry," Naruto told the girl. She didn't realize she was holding his hand until she felt how hard she was squeezing. Hinata couldn't get the words out, but she shook her head. This all felt like a dream to her. She couldn't believe it. Naruto actually loved her, and even said it. He even kissed her. Naruto got out of bed and picked the girl up as she made an eep sound. "Let's get you back to your room, you need to finish healing up." Neji was hurt and so were a few other people recently. They're going to need you while they get better. Hinata was doing all she could to just listen to the boy and stay awake. She rested her head against the boy's chest, loving the sound of his heartbeat, as Naruto kept talking. She wasn't listening though. Before long she was back in her room and in her bed. "I'm sorry Hinata-hime, but I must be going now," Naruto said, snapping the girl's thoughts back to the boy. Naruto kissed her once more before he left. He had a certain Sanin. With that thought in mind, he jumped out of the hospital room window, 30 flights above ground level. This time no one was going to stop him, and he would put an end to Akatsuki and Obito before it was too late.
That's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on my other social media accounts. Anime God here, and I'm signing off.